Good evening, everyone. Let me just do some more clicks. Okay, here is the chat. Hello MVN, hello Racing PCs. Yes, Racing PCs, I can read you. And MVN, I'm pretty well. I hope you're as well, although I have one little issue. I brought some virus from Spa, so the throat pain from yesterday went a lot worse through the night, and today I have even a little bit of a headache, which is not the best. But I always figure out that sim racing is very good like workout at the times where you don't feel good enough to actually have a workout, but here you can just like relax in the sim rig and kind of do some movement. So meanwhile I see that the bit rate might be a bit tricky, but yeah, there are 6% frame drops. I hope that gets sorted eventually, and that the stream is gonna be fine. I don't quite understand. YouTube is saying that I have zero audio, but that's surely not the case, right? Oh, the joys of streaming. Especially with way too little experience to handle all these weird problems. Anyway, it's qualifying, so let me start driving. So it's interesting to see that in these intermediate races there is so much less sign-ups than for the beginner races. Also the faster guys that have like platinum safety rating and higher silver, like silver 2, silver 3, or even gold driver rating, tend to just do the beginner races and the weekly and special events. So I have two strategies to get some more competition in. If I'm too quick today, strat 1 is that I figure out I feel so much off due to slight bit of illness. Well, at least I don't have fever, but still I feel off. Maybe the headache will give me a nice BOP. But if I figure out I'm too fast for whatever reason, I will add fuel to manually BOP myself because I need some content. And yeah, I thought about doing like 100% Ferrari stream, because there is like the Hypercar fixed at Sebring. I'm gonna take the... Why is it Sebring? I think there is is it some other race? No, it's some other race. I think it's even Spa. I think it's Hypercars at Spa after this. So I'm gonna take the Ferrari, and then there is Monza GTE Ferrari fixed, so you cannot take anything else than Ferrari. But then I thought, why not just take 3 different GTs? And I think I have only driven Bahrain with Corvette with fixed setup, and now I kind of have some non-fixed setup, but let's see how well it works. So about WEC, I started to follow it a bit more when I was at the previous team, like with Burst Sport, because we worked together with Bike Wallace and Van Val for LMVS and stuff, so I was kind of rooting for them, although they were not really having the hypercar pace. Other than that, I don't really like watch the races live much. Even for F1 most of the times I need to download it later and or just watch the highlights. Marvin, copy. MVN, yeah, that makes sense. Well, let's hope I remember that, because I'm very bad with names and remembering names. I kind of remember the face, but then it's difficult for me to connect, like to keep it in my brain, face connected to the name. Well, eventually I managed to do it, but sorry in advance if I keep forgetting. This car, this setup feels tricky. Also my headache, I can feel it, but it's not too bad. And the track temp is quite low. Gonna have 2 more attempts. Okay, I need to find a bit of time. I think I need to put brake bias a bit to the rear. I think 2 streams ago, like probably 2 weeks ago or something, I did Corvette at Bahrain fixed. And that setup was so understeery that I needed to move the brake bias to like 55 or 45 actually, 45 front, so like crazy movement to the rear. But now with this setup it's kind of alright, but it's still understeering. I have messed up the ARBs. I mean, as if I did any work on the setup. Oof, okay. Well, understeer and oversteer at the same time. I guess I put brake bias a little bit to front, and then for the race I'll just take a little bit of rear anti-roll bar to help with the rotation. Let's go. That was a good last corner. It's gonna be just about enough for the pole. Let's see if the Porsche MP2 improves. The tires are still cold, like I guess doing 2 or 3 more laps will mean the car is just becoming faster and faster. Now that I drive it for 3 more laps, it feels like the balance is becoming better, so maybe I should just keep it for the race. The brake bias broke a bit too early. Should be still easy P1 now, like the grip just came to me like crazy. The brake bias is interesting. Like in the hypercars, it's weird because it sometimes feels like the front is locking up, but it's actually the rear locking up. Like I don't quite understand what exactly is going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please start your engine.
Many Porsches, yeah. I don't know why the Porsche is just so popular. Everybody used to have the Ferrari upon the initial release, probably because it was the fastest. But not sure if the Porsche is actually the fastest. I don't know. Right, so 35. The race distance keeps increasing or what? It used to be 30, then it was 32, then 34, now it's 35. The lap times should be... let's check Motec. Wrong log. So 119, let's say 18, let's say 19 laps times 2.95, 56 liters. Yeah, I don't know what that LMP did, but I think the grid is mixed kind of, so okay, what did they say, 56 liters? And then I did say, so it was, I think, half a second gap. How to BOP that? I think 10 liters is 2/10 or 10.5. Let's do it like that. In attempt to try to have maybe some battles for P1. That system is quite confusing. Like people keep accelerating and slowing down. I mean, I went for it. That feels very strange to be battling with the LMP2s. Oh, well, that's unlucky. I saw the car ahead, like the car ahead of the car ahead was spinning and tried to back out of it, but it was too late. Where are all the GTs? I should probably have lifted and not went for that T1 dive, but there was like a huge gap and the racing instinct is just to go for it. I would love to actually battle LMP2s. They are much slower than they used to be, like in real life. Yes, Jake, indeed. I think everyone in the LMP2 field was being like very safe and reasonable and just trying not to crash. And they were all ultra safe, so there were big gaps. I mean, I lifted heavily. Are LMP2 slower in the corners? No, that makes no sense. Although they are like heavier and weaker than like 2 or 3 years ago. Wait, how many LMP2s were there? Because I don't believe I'm actually P7 on the whole track. Well, P6 now. About the mediums, well, I don't think LMP2s have softs at all. I think they just have medium and wet. Just like one dry and one wet compound. But I mean, I've driven the LMP2s after the update and it felt kind of reasonable. I don't know. Well, for the race, tire warmer is kind of simulated, so you don't start the race if it's set to fast rolling on the like air temperature, but you actually like start. You get like 50 or 55 degree on the tire, and at that point it should already have quite some grip. I think wait, the hypercars have tire warmers for some tracks and for some not. Like even out of the pits in quali or in practice. I think for Le Mans they had tire warmers. But this year in real life they didn't have them anymore as far as I could understand. So 2 more LMPs are coming. Why are they all flashing me? Is that kind of some new kind of convention to flash the GTE ahead? I would understand if it was just before a corner, but in the middle of the straight, not alright. I guess I take it as a hello. I'm famous. Ah, because of the hello, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if 300 or 400 subs is already famous, but that's quite a crowd in real life. This car balance is so funny. Like, very hard to explain it. Like, the steering response is kind of exact the opposite of Assetto Corsa Competizione. There you turn in a little bit and there is just nothing from the front. You need to turn in a lot. Use the second gear. You need to turn a lot before front starts doing something. But here you turn in a little bit and suddenly it already bites like crazy. But then you need to turn it even more to like, get the full front grip. Yeah, like I already lost it with just a small input. Oh well, my town has around, I guess, around that value as well, to 240,000. Yeah, and I don't think I locked the rears. Maybe just slightly, but it was not due to that, it was just... I mean, it's been a feature of this tire physics platform, like, since the start of R Factor 2. That, like, very early, when you started making some input, very early in the corner phase, you would start getting quite a lot of rotation. Many significant tire updates later, it's kind of still the case, although these tires for sure feel the best of them all from the past 10 years of, or 12 years of R Factor 2 and LMU. I was looking in the mirror and seeing and wondering why the GTE behind is closing in so rapidly. But it's another LMP. Yeah, that's been a bit of a weird lap from me. P2 is closing in a little bit. It's gonna wait, okay. I suppose the LMPs could be struggling a lot in these first 3 corners of Bahrain, because their first and second gear are extremely long. I got that rear stuff again. Maybe the brake bias is just a bit too much to the rear. And then here, like, late exit, I just lose all the rotation. Now I locked up front right. It's not easy. But I suppose I know what I would have to do in the setup. Exit of that fast right-left. I guess at that point, and also in the upcoming corners, it would be quite important to use the packers. Like, in a way that you don't hit them here, but when you turn in here and load the rear left, it would hit the packers and kind of provide more neutral balance. But you need, well, 2-3 hours or Motec knowledge to see exactly at what point it's hitting, to optimize that. Well, that LMP2 still didn't get me. That's gonna be a very curious battle for P7 on track in the total standings. Oh well, Jake. It has taken me way too many years to kind of start thinking of myself that I have any ideas. I still kind of think I don't really know what I'm doing. What's that diagram, you know, when like what you feel that you know versus what you actually know? Okay, I guess he will overtake me now. Something is some Donninger-Kruger something effect. Is that double upshift? Oh no, anyway. When after 1 or 2 years of setups you think you know a lot, but then after 3-4 years you realize you have no idea what you're doing. And then after 6, 7, 8 years, slowly you start gaining confidence that you actually know what you're doing. So I still kind of feel like I'm like at 50% knowledge. But then it's funny because well, many times in the past in the biggest esports series I have produced with some help from the team. Sometimes more help, sometimes no help. Setups that won the biggest esports events, so I don't know. Like that LMVS Bahrain especially. It was basically, I mean, we had kind of a base setup from season 1, but I needed to update it a lot. And I clicked around and it felt good suddenly. And then we had 2/10 of pace advantage over Redline and Coanda and so on. And it was a surreal experience. But despite that, I still feels like I don't really know what I'm doing. Like for these new tires, no idea what to do with, let's say, ARBs. Could be detached, could be max, like everything seems to kind of work. Well, my BOP approach at taking extra fuel to have more fun racing kind of works because the pace between me and P2 is extremely close. But I was a bit too enthusiastic about battling LMPs. Uh-oh. So I suddenly had 4 seconds advantage in lap 1. Well, let's see, he has 18 minutes, maybe he can catch me. Also, I really hope that there is no frame drops. I'm gonna check after the race if YouTube is complaining, but It was a weird lockup. I broke earlier than previous laps. Everything looks smooth, thanks a lot. Good to know. It's a bit weird, like when LMU got released and I tried to stream it for the first couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, it was always kind of a stuttery experience. There were frame drops and everything. Maybe not for stream because it was 60 FPS, but like I have maxed or capped frame rate at 137 FPS and it was dropping to 100. But even like at 130 plus it felt like not smooth at all. But there must have been some changes made with the updates, because I didn't really change any graphic settings or anything like that. But it just feels smooth lately. So very, very good. And there was never really any mention in the update logs about improvements, but maybe it was kind of tied to some game stability improvement. I don't know. Porsche P2 has lost it. Unlucky. Yeah, when I launched the stream today, it said it has 6% frame drops. And I think it was Istanbul FSR, the WC race, when it was like 15% frame drops and it was basically unwatchable. But yeah, that's quite terrible, Jake, to hear that. Keeps crashing during qualifying race. It never crashed for me during the race, actually, like since the start. It crashed on me during quali maybe 2 times. It never crashed on the transition into race, but it crashed multiple times during practice and transition to quali, or just after the race when pressing escape and so on. So I consider myself very lucky. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the braking is so much trickier than it was in RF2. And I should say much more realistic. Oh, also that Bahrain bug is missing. The pit lane entry horn bug. Every time I raced here before, when I was in sector 2 in the right hairpin, I heard like maybe 1/3 of laps I heard pit entry horn. But for this race, it has not happened yet. Jake, I feel like sending in the logs and traces is a good therapy. Especially when the bug splatter report window opens and you can pour all your anger and frustration into the description and send it. And they receive both the trace and your frustration, so you can continue your life easier. Saying from my own experience, of course. Actually, I lost the most of my DR, not because of crashes, but because of the registration issues. When I clicked register and the game thought... Well, the game knew I registered, but it did not recognize my PC, so I was both registered and not registered at the same time, so I could not join. Would be quite nice to have changeable ARBs for this car now, just to test them in real time. Like turning into turn 1, like the rear is just over rotating the front in like a very controlled air factor way. Here as well. I guess it's still that aero transfer bug. When you brake, you just get huge front downforce, and when you step on throttle, the rake goes very like to negative almost. I keep locking up. Yeah, like this. I don't even know what to do with the setup. I need to spend like a whole day on it to test some different strategies or different ways. But anyway, today I'm here just to do laps, so... the quali mix. Well, in RF2 it was like 2 extra horsepower. So let's see what the delta does. I mean, this delta is probably because on my best lap I messed up turn 1 exit. I'll keep it on quali for this lap, and next lap I put to race lean and see what happens. Come on, okay. Kind of made the apex. It's so frustrating to have delta like there, it should be in the middle of the screen. That was the biggest step back in terms of R Factor 2 and LMU development. taking delta, which was in the perfect spot in the middle of the screen, and putting it into some off-centered position. Ay ay ay. I keep locking up. Would almost need like a brake migration system. I mean, there are options to like put the UI or the HUD more together, but it's still not in the middle. Okay, so probably... Let's see, race lean. I think I gained like 10.5 in the first half of the lap, so let's see if I can do the same on race lean. I lost a bit because the corner was slightly worse. Hard to judge. Yeah, I mean, Bahrain indeed looks quite nice in the night, but I get annoyed by this weird haze around the trackside lights, or I don't know what's the correct word for that. I wanted to make a PB so I would have delta for a reference, but not gonna get it. I wonder if I put post-processing to more than low, or some other things, like reflections to higher, if it would look a bit better. Because that kind of... what's the word, like that haze of light kind of flashing a bit, but not really flashing, just like... I mean, it is flashing, like these lights are kind of moving a little bit. Hard to put it into words. Still race lean? Yeah. Shimmer of the lights, yeah, probably shimmering. I need to research that verb later. I think I have heard that word, but never really learned it. Ah, there goes the PB. So hard to keep it consistent, like, and again about the brake bias, I just don't know what to do with it. What a big lockup. It was quite funny. From my thoughts perspective, I was like, well, I should put it back more to the rear, but not for turn 1, because turn 1 was always a bit oversteery. And then I kept it at 50.2 and immediately locked up. Now I can feel that flat spot quite prominently. If this was still the first RF2 tire model that was there on that Formula Renault 3.5 and on Formula ISI, my car would be like this in the straights. I didn't even lose that much front right, I don't know. Feels like the lockups don't take away enough of tire percentage, especially huge ones like I've just had. Sunstorm weather option. To be honest, that's easily doable. I remember modding some F1 challenge track, which was like great grandparent of LMU, and in there it was possible to just open the scene file of the track and just adjust the atmospheric conditions in a way that it actually looked like a sandstorm, and then put road effect to like dusty. So if it was possible in 2004, 20 years later, I don't think they would have issues doing it. Well, I could not prove it now, but I think race lean and quali are kind of semi-fast. Maybe a couple of thousandths per lap. What am I doing? These last two laps were not the greatest, but it's alright. I try to make one last huge lockup. Let's see front right where. Okay, I mean it went to 55 from 73, so I guess that's fair enough for a full lockup. Anyway, that's a P1, and I hope I'm getting already the Platinum 3 SR. Not that it has any effect on anything, but just for the sake of it. And now that I'm standing still, the lights are not shimmering. As soon as I start moving... Yeah, okay. One light was like marginally covered by some tree, and as soon as that tree covered it a little bit, all that haze around just disappeared. So... Oh, Amos Lorito, that's the Italian streamer. Wait, I wanted to press this. Aliasing, yeah, maybe. Something about it. I mean, there was a gap, so should have waited behind probably. What is that? Ah, 50-meter board. Okay. And then I very foolishly locked up and almost bumped the car head and almost bumped the car on the front. This one was weird. I broke early, turned in. Yeah, I saw underneath the rear wing that there is some problem ahead. And started braking. Downshifted. Yeah, that was unlucky. And because of that, he probably just about could not avoid the spinning red LMP. Alright. Anyway. Thank you, Marvin. Have I remembered correctly? Oh, I see now. I have missed a couple of messages. Oh, I'm not Platinum 3 yet. Okay, well, next one. So, hello, good morning, Owen, and at the end of the race, could you please show your main game menu setting? So this one. So in the graphics, yeah, here I don't know if I should have. Oh wait, let me actually first register so I don't forget. But I will show it. I have already done this, right? Hypercar fixed. Register Hypercar, and I wanted to try the Ferrari. Hello, Colin. So right, graphics. Not sure if borderless or full screen makes any difference, but I like the borderless so I can like move mouse up and down. Post effects, well, I have them on low, but maybe with more it would look better. I guess this visible vehicles is the most important, but then also all these reflections and particles and shadows, like this can be all turned off or to minimum. You will still see the particles, you will still see shadows, you will still see special effects, but I think it should say low, not off here. And supposedly the texture filter doesn't really affect the performance much. And the texture detail. Why is this on high? I thought maybe I normally run it on max, but maybe I was so annoyed by the stutters that I put it too high. And the circuit detail on medium usually show all the expected objects, and if you put too low, then some grandstands could be missing and so on. It can start to look weird with low. Like if you are into having more immersion. Anyway, 1 minute. I will be back in a second. Alright, I said I'm gonna check if my YouTube is still reporting some problems. Stream health is excellent. Okay, that's nice. And what does OBS say? It's dropping 0.8% of frames. It usually is 0, so I don't know. We will have some nice competition here. Oh, Sven is again in the Glickenhaus. Wow. Some Peugeots. I have not raced Ferrari yet when it comes to hypercars since the big tire update. So the big issue with the Ferrari before was that in the hairpins the front would at some point just completely die. Like going into hairpin at some point, if there was like a little bit of I don't know, like a curb or like elevation change, like sputter on one and even Bahrain hairpins and so on, when you need to touch the curb a little bit, at some point when you were like turning in, it was just the front would be just gone. And the Porsche did not have that issue, but it was just overall quite lazy and weird. But after the update, I think I did one race I think with the Ferrari, or maybe just like one lap offline, and immediately I figured out that the problem is kind of gone. But let's see what it feels like now at Spa. Softs are available for Spa and for Le Mans, and for no other tracks. What's the track temp? 37. I wonder if in these conditions mediums are better choice than softs. Well, Pete, about feelings in the turn. Well, LMU from the start just had less FFB when it comes to the front tires. It still had a lot more feeling than any other sim, apart from R Factor 2. Oh, this is fast. I haven't driven hypercars for a long time. But yeah, before the update, especially like in the middle of slow corners, it would suddenly just completely be like it disconnected the grip and the FFB and so on. So I need to remember Ferrari has the V6, which has power peak at quite low RPM, so I think I need to shift on the first light. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think it's the first light. Like around 90%. And now there is just good grip through the corner. Quite some aero understeer. I have adjustable ARBs, maybe a bit less front, a bit more rear. So same lap times with soft and mediums copy. I think I'll just keep softs for quali and then go for medium in the race. Okay. Well, when I touched the curb, I heard some chassis scraping on the ground, and at that point I lost the front grip. But yeah, felt a lot better than before the new tires. So because it's fixed setup, I need to adjust the fuel again. Full brake. And then well, that felt kind of alright. Well, this corner is kind of scary with cold tires. Well, Pete, about poor driving style, I guess I had the same thoughts. Like I thought that I'm doing something wrong, but no matter what I did with the setup and driving, it was still doing the same. So I started blaming the tires, and now after the update, the problem is better, or like problem is smaller than before. And about the 499p revs, I don't think they changed the engine curve. I think they adjusted the like these three red lights here according to the power band, but I don't know, like on the straight before, on the canal straight and on my outlap I kept 6th gear, and like where these lights here show the supposed peaking power, I just started losing all the acceleration, so I think I just keep shifting out on 1 or 2 yellow lights on my steering wheel. I could maybe move the seat position a bit rearwards. And I did forget to burn off the battery a little bit. And I forget to shift at the correct RPM. Yeah, I think there is some bottoming when touching that curb in turn 1. I can hear it. For sure, Pete. It's really good experience. Understeer. DC is doing weird stuff. Let me fix it a bit less cut, a bit more main DC. That should already be better. So it cuts less but more consistently. That felt like a big front lock-up momentarily, but rear right went red. Seven tenths to gain. I can do that. Don't give me a cut, thank you. I don't know exactly what these ARB values are. I did run them quite... Oh no, it's not a cut, okay. On my own setups I did run them quite stiff. Well, this is not significantly faster. It still seems to be the thing that I gain pace if I miss the turn 1 apex a little bit. So 6/10, I can do that. Oof. That was not the best. PC is still doing something, I don't know what to do with it. It's cutting so much. Lost it a bit. Let's see where we finish. P3, okay. That's survivable in the race. Racing PCs use 647. I don't know, I figure out that it's... If I put max TC and max slip, it's gonna be very consistent. And I don't know, like on the Corvette... No, the Cadillac, I need to have them at like 9 or 10, and then I think almost max slip, and this needs to be 5 and 6, but for the Ferrari it feels like it cuts a lot on 5. Because if you have this on like too low, it will kind of like turn on, off, and then when it's, if you have cut too much, then it turns on and cuts a lot. And then turns off and you start wheel spinning, and then it turns on again, and it's like a vicious circle that doesn't feel good at all. What was it? 4.1 35 times 60 divided by 1 to... What's the lap times gonna be? 1 to 1. 18 laps. And I already forgot the fuel usage. 4.1. 74. Make it 75. So mediums. I don't know, maybe I should use less pedal force. 75. Andonovsky, yeah, he probably has done by far the most laps with his car from anybody. Because he's in Ferrari esports. I wonder when these tires update. And are the others actually starting on softs? Gonna be intriguing. Okay, Omar went mediums. But 38 Celsius, yeah, that's... must be mediums. It was like around 30 Celsius at Le Mans, the crossover between soft and medium. That FFB disappearing is always scary. But luckily the FFB reset button always does the job. First corner they're cold and stiff, okay. Well, 56 Celsius, yeah. Let's see. Motor map max. That was kind of a Bottas start. Just released the limiter when it went green, but scared myself doing so. Flat out. The Toyota is coming to crash me. Yeah, the ARB selection is crucial to be fast here. Lando has learned it from Max. Stop! Where is the TC? I don't get this. I'll just put it to max and see what happens. I don't know what to think of it. Do I need even more? Like out of that corner when I needed opposite lock, felt like the TC didn't even activate. Yeah, now it cut a lot. Need a bit more motor map, not to fill up the battery. Well, yeah, for sure power cut is important, but in some corners it feels like it's not activating at all, so power cut only works if this is active. Feels quite good now, to be honest. Purple S2, nice. Maybe I have a chance there for P2 or P1. That's gonna be a cut. It's not gonna be a cut, okay. That should have been a cut. But I take it. Initially it doesn't take, like, I don't know, speaking of TC still. Like, I don't know, I go on throttle, it just kind of snaps a little bit, but then it grabs it. Like, here is good because it's not a hairpin. It doesn't get that initial snap. A bit wide, but just enough front downforce to make it. Okay, 4/10. Let's see how the slipstream is. Might have a chance here if I'm brave enough. A bit too far. Hyper, I have not seen it. I have seen a title about it, but I have not read it yet. That's very little time loss for the car ahead for going into the gravel with Hypercar. I dipped my front left into the gravel as well now and didn't really lose anything. I think there is just overall too much grip in the gravel, or not enough bumpiness. I don't know why I struggle so much in the traction zones. Pain. Supercapacitors instead of battery. Oh, that's interesting. But still, when the TC cuts in, it cuts a lot. It's just that it doesn't start cutting in. Buttons, come on. He had the faster outside line now. He lost it in Rouge, Neredillon. It's so hard to stay close enough through there. Oof. Thank you guys. 83 the better car. Slavic power. I still prefer the red livery on the Ferrari. I just took the yellow one because it was the default choice. Still quite a bit of a Kubica fan. Yeah, the gap of Porsche is interesting. I thought he would be running away as well. But the gap is very stable. Yeah, I don't know about the top speed difference. I've done quite many setups for both Porsche and the Ferrari, especially for Le Mans, and feels like one car reaches top speed faster, but the other car continues accelerating. But it's default setups here anyway, so who knows what rear wings they have put on there and how much rake and stuff. Check fuel copy. I think I should have enough for sure. I just need to keep switching between 40 and 60 kilowatts battery. So it's 2-minute lap time. It's gonna be more than 16 minutes to go, so it's gonna be 9 more laps. I think fuel should be spot on, to be honest. I think I'm really good on the brakes compared to the Porsche, but even compared to the Ferrari that I have overtaken. Always closed in on him when I was behind. And then on traction I struggle. Yeah, the Porsche does increase the gap from was 1.2 out of last corner to 1.5 here. But then in the corners I get it back. Yeah, at Le Mans it's funny because Porsche kind of is same fast in sector 1 and sector 2, but when Ferrari and Porsche come to the Porsche curves, Porsche kind of starts losing a lot of grip and performance. On my setups at least, so maybe there is still some work around with the rake and springs on the rear or whatever. So here it makes sense that Ferrari is quicker in the corners of sector 2. And as Mr. Niels from ACC said, Ferrari has the best sound when it comes to braking. So because of the sound I can brake later, right? That's how it works. That's how it works to some extent. I think on the exit I just need to manage the throttle a little bit. And that was slightly too wide. Yeah, the regen sound is indeed quite useful. So the battery is full again, back to 60. Thinking if I'm in his toe, I can easily outbrake him, or at least like make a dummy into the last corner and then get a switchback through turn 1 or something. He is sliding. But TC is just not activating out of T1. He's struggling in these 3 corners particularly. Probably just the Porsche braking. And this is the guy who got me 20,000 plus views on Instagram for crashing into my rear on the Le Mans special event, I think. So I need to be careful with him. He's dancing into the corners and I'm dancing out of them. Still can't stop thinking that 2 days ago or 3 days ago I was literally driving beyond this barrier in a car. In real life. And standing underneath these trees. And I'm on the official 24 hours Spa broadcast driving here. It's funny as the cars are speeding by after 1 hour of the 24 hours. And there is a nice silver Citroen SUV. Shame that the resolution is so bad that I'm not really visible. Yeah, this track, so I've been at Monza, I've been at Red Bull Ring, both like 10 or 12 years ago. And I've been at Spa and Spice for sure, like for general admission, just walking around, by far the best experience you can get anywhere. But especially for like non-F1 events. I just had that like guest pass, and I could literally go anywhere. And there was my VIP lounge somewhere in those garages. And Camel, this is so much uphill, I got shocked by it, kind of looking at it. I thought it's kind of a little bit uphill, but it's a big hill. Like Rouge and Redillon are a huge hill, but Camel is still not a flat straight. That should be a little bit of slipstream. Let's see. Couple of milliseconds. This Ferrari is so awkward out of slow corners. Yeah, out of turn 1 I'm not getting him unless he does a big mistake, so I need to start making the move into bus stop. I've seen that crash Hyper. If I stayed at the track for 15 minutes more, I would be standing 10 meters away from it. But I had to leave the track for the hotel because next day I had to drive 10 hours home. Yeah, P1 is seemingly slightly stressed. Let's see, he always struggled a bit into this braking zone. Just no traction. So frustrating. And I don't think I can do anything with TC. Would need to go like 15 traction control, but 11 is max. It will be hard to get a better tow. I'm in the wrong space on the track. A bit of side draft maybe. Let's go! What a move! Very fair driving from him as well. I thought I would have to yield on the entry of Lecombe before the left, but I just had a little bit of advantage, being like half a meter ahead of him. So he would either crash into my side or just give me the place, so... It was a nice battle. Oh no. Yeah, I think I'm not breathing yet. At least not until the end of Camel Straight in the last lap. It was weird because, like, at Redilon here, I don't know how to pronounce that corner, Orouge is easier to say. He just missed the apex, but that made my overtake even more awkward because I was too close on the top of the hill. Still the side draft and slight top speed, or like slight speed advantage out of the corner helped me make it. I guess breathe now already. Oof. Very intriguing race and intriguing BOP. Like the Ferrari is really good on the brakes. But the issue is that then I need to make use of that advantage and actually like use the braking power, and a lockup is just so easy to do. But here's a victory. Did I say victory? Quite happy about this. I felt like I was quite off pace in quali, but just about managed to find some pace during the first laps and some good TC settings. Well, not good, but less bad than before. Ah. I was close to being blue there. It's so difficult, like through Eau Rouge, especially because you just need to carry the speed, and especially on the default setups, there is a bit more like the aero is a bit more to the rear, so the front doesn't kill you, but then it just starts washing off. But that move in the braking zone was crucial. So where... okay, here it is. Here I was like, if I don't brake on the inside, I'm never gonna do it. And I knew that, like, I didn't want to like fully cut him off, but just like brake slightly before the limit, so I could back out of it if necessary. So I started to brake, and at this point I realized, well, I'm just about gonna get the overlap. And then, well, depends on the racing rules, but this is not a turn-in point yet, right? I mean, like, this would be kind of turn-in point, hard to judge, but... probably in real life, if he turned in on me, it would be my fault for crashing him off. But then, we saw much worse things with Lando and Max at Red Bull Ring, so this was not even a crazy dive bomb. I still did lean onto him a little bit. Then I prayed I'm gonna get the traction, but like, when is he flat out? So he can be flat out here. Okay, that's a bit of TC cutting. And just cuts more for me. Although that had, I hope it's even visible from the stream. Must be visible, right? The green thing, yeah, it is visible. Just about cuts a bit more, and here I'm still overcorrecting. Correcting the oversteer. And then I have 3 minutes to register for the next race. You know what? Excuse me, I will check this replay later, but I need to register not to fail the next race. Wait, have I moved this camera? It was like this before, I think. To see more of the steering wheel from the back. Anyway. I'm SR3, nice. Not sure if that counts as maxed out. It kind of is maxed out because there is nothing above P3, but still, well, 90+% to gain. Now we go to this. Hani is doing it nice. Register. So many Porsches, but I wanted to take the Porsche as well. Which one did I put onto the stream? I think this one was the stream preview or whatever it's called, thumbnail. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna check that replay later, and it's gonna for sure make it onto some online clips on Instagram and so on. So, do you know a good way to get rid of the Porsche Cup understeer in RF2? Yes. That's actually, like, that car is the last one that I have actually, like, fully esported for that Maastricht competition, Sim Formula Expo, or what was it called, in January. We raced those cars. I spent 20, 30, 40 hours on it probably. Worth it, but... So the problem with that car is the front has no downforce, so you cannot really use it. Like generally in RF2 on those tires, you need to kind of use the rear, like not to drift it, but like just have the weight on the rear to rotate. And especially on the Porsche Cup car, because it has no aero on the front, but rear wing on the rear. So when you are going into the corners, if you do this, you are doing it wrong. If you're doing this, it's better. But like steering wheel needs to be like in this range if you turn right. Even for the hairpins. Like if you need to turn like this, it means that you're already looking for front grip, and there is not going to be any front grip. So you need to... What was the deal in the setup? I don't remember even the setup. For quali, it was very aggressive on the rear toe. Was even toe out, maybe just to already make the rear rotate more. And then... yeah, just rotate on the brakes. It's very tricky. It's not an easy car. I think Porsche Cup is one of the hardest cars to really go quick within RF2. At least for people who are used to loading the fronts to make the corner. Oh, Brem, you were the Toyota, right? Yeah, I was checking the mirrors, and I noticed that if I turn in, I'm gonna get crashed, but Nah, we survived, I guess. Cold tires and so on. I mean, I won in the end, so I'm happy, so it's easier to say that. But, yeah. Do we have to raise the rear right height a lot? I don't remember, to be honest. I think not, to be honest. Because increasing the rear right height means you get, well, a bit... Wait, what was it? I would need to check. Actually. Quickly check. I mean, I am... Wait. I always had to consider my contract because I was never able to like just freely share anything because of the contract of the team. But when I was doing that, I had no contract. So maybe I can share like a value or two, but I don't know where that thing is. So it was January, Maastricht. Let's see, rear right height. I had... okay, for Maastricht I had like 6.8 to 7.0 right height. That range. And I see it's not minimum. Front is minimum, rear not. And then quite open differential, although I guess differential is just locked there. Let me just check the ARBs before I finally do some Porsche driving here. Where is that? Ah, the ARBs. Okay, ARBs were just detached. I don't think if that was a Maastricht specific thing, because Maastricht is a very specific track, so like before that we had Bahrain and Nürburgring for the qualifiers, and I think there maybe I used a bit different settings. Anyway, what do we have here? A lot of fuel, max pedal force. Let's see how this thing drives. Well, I mean, I need to rest a little bit after the previous race anyway, because of the kind of headache. Luckily the headache did not get any worse, but still I'm not feeling the best at the moment. After bringing that weird virus or bacteria from Spa or whatever I contracted there. Oh, this is the GTs, so TC Cut 1 and TC Max. And Ibram, yeah, thank you. Well, I guess I needed to. I had to learn how to drive the Ferrari mid-race. It's for sure it's not easy to drive them. Like the braking is hard, the traction is hard. Mid-corner they are quite good because of the downforce, but still quite tricky. I don't know how much fuel. 12, I guess. Quite a short session. The Spa virus, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I remember several people in the paddock walking around and coughing a lot or sneezing and so on. But I'm the kind of a guy who, like, if walking behind somebody who sneezes, I make a chicane around the sneeze cloud. I mean, I did drive 10 hours back home, and like half of that time I had AC on, although it was not like in the coldest settings. so I don't know. I don't think it was the AC. If I can play with the names, maybe it was the ACC, because I had to drive a couple of laps of ACC on a sim at Spa. Maybe that gave me the virus. Or maybe it was the broken FOV of those sims. It's always so frustrating. I mean, it's quite off topic, but still, like, always going to some events or like Sim Expo or whatever, and you like visit some manufacturer of sim equipment. There are some rigs, you try to do a lap, and there the FOV is destroyed, camera positioning, cockpit is completely off, monitor is in the distant land 10 kilometers ahead of you, FFP has 200% damping, you cannot feel anything, you cannot correct things, there is huge input lag. Like, I don't know how they assume anybody's gonna buy their equipment. Too much, too little speed. Big lockup. Oof. Okay. This lap is not gonna really count towards anything. I keep short shifting. I think it's because both Ferrari and this are 6 cylinders, so I just got used to listening to engine sounds and shifting a bit earlier. I need to rev it out in this car. Well, Pete, for sure. I mean, from my experience, I would be able to substantially or like significantly improve the experience on most of the sims that I saw in like exhibitions, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody would be willing to like buy such a service, because they, I don't know, maybe they all feel like they have optimized it already, so they don't know that it's not optimized. So how much off pace am I? 1 second for now. Nice drift. Why is it locking up so much? Okay, this is not going well. I don't know, 50-50 brake bias maybe. Now I have lost quite a bit of, actually not that much. 95% abrasion is not too bad. I do feel a little bit of flat spot, but still time for one more lap. I think several of the top 5 guys in the leaderboard now have just been doing this beginner series. Maybe I should think of doing that as well for maybe next week's stream or some other time. Instead of 2 intermediate and 2 beginner races, just do like 4 beginner races, because there is usually better competition. Although, I mean, previous race at Spa was pretty insane. Would be shame to have missed it. I think the open series in the intermediate just turns people away because they don't want to click setups. Right, let's try to find the 1.3 seconds now. hesitate there. Not gonna be a pole, but happy that I can, at least in theory, do those lap times. Gonna be a fun Porsche Cup. Oh, Hani got us by further, some 6/10. Okay. I could be a Simric mercenary. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Could be.
please start your engines.
What was the lap times again? I keep forgetting. 143 and it was 2.6 per lap. So it would be 104, let's say, per lap. 15 times. And I forgot the fuel again. Was 2.6. 39. Only 39. I don't trust this page. Guess I'll just take 42 and max pedal force. This goes to like this and let's go. And TC. All right. Well, about lockups, Ibrahim, I think, well, it's car specific, but I think it's much more realistic now. Maybe overdone a little bit, but well, when the tire locks, it's hard to unlock it, but still it's possible to do it. But before that, on old tire models, the performance of the stopping of the car wasn't really any worse when locking up. So that was a bit too broken. Yeah, I didn't want to dive, but that guy kind of pushed me into there. I wanted to go for a switchback, but the car behind is too close. Would have done a science at Kota. yeah, the Coach Dave setups, like if good setups are available, it's gonna be easier, but then again, then it kind of effectively becomes like fixed series again. And Colin, yes, about the brake bias, that is exactly how it is. And if it rains, you need to put it even more rearwards. And I keep locking up. Top two are fast. This corner is interesting because you just cannot go into power, you just need to wait for much longer than it feels natural. Overheating. Is that a cut? Nope. Nice jump. Yeah, I immediately got a bit of a lockup now, but I released the brakes marginally and the lockup instantly went away. I think if you don't lock up too much, it's easy to manage it. But if you go near to like a full lockup, then it becomes quite like iRacing. Was kind of weird. I wanted to go for a switchback for that uphill left king, but I was too far ahead, could not lift out of it. And then he just let me through. But I guess if we kept battling, then there would be no chance at us reaching P3. be honest, this car feels similar to the Porsche Cup car in RF2. The front just has a very limited amount of grip, and once you start to lean on it, it just keeps overheating. P1 and P2 are probably checked out unless they start battling themselves. Oh, where are you going? If you don't take that curb, it's instant half attempt lost. Could not see the track limits. Need to go for a switchback, not to try to carry it around the outside like that. Ah, his first gear there, okay. Oh yeah, where am I going? That's gonna be a tough fight for P3. Mr. Kappa behind is fast as well. Yeah, this track is insane. Really, really nice for racing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, what happened there? I'm glad I didn't hit him, but felt like the brake line exploded or something. Must just have been my brain exploding for some reason. I don't think I broke specifically later. One moment, yeah. Another one. That was because of the curb. Okay, let's get back into some focus. This is not acceptable. Although I do have my driver excuses for today ready if the race goes wrong, so no worries. Come on, why is this a cut? I guess it's just very strict white line in some corners. I think what happened before, where I almost crashed into the P3 car, was that he broke a little bit earlier than normally, and I tried to maximize my braking performance and gain time on him there, and then suddenly the distance shrunk so quickly that I thought I'm just not braking enough and that I have a lockup or something. Now first gear is useless there. Okay, that's a PB, although it was a cut, so it's not gonna count, but I'm gaining time. Cannot believe it. That surely didn't feel like I was 4 wheels off track. And I even lifted quite a bit. But alright. Needed to save 1 or 2 more cut points for the battling. Okay, 1 less. That was again one of those moments like, should I wait for him to spin into the inside? And I think on the old tire model he would actually still have enough grip to actually keep spinning towards the inside and collect me. But with these tires, there is so much of a temperature grip drop off when you're sliding that it actually doesn't work like that anymore, so you just keep going off. And yeah, Eduardo is watching always. Small lockup just before the entry. I guess a little bit more rear, what's with the brake bias still. Already gone like 3.5% from the fixed setup, so this feels wrong, but cannot avoid front lockups in the other way than if I keep moving the brake bias. This might see, yeah, it was 1. Come on! Just about. Every time I keep driving Porsche in any sim, I just remember why I usually don't take the Porsche. Because the front is quite weak and the rear keeps penduluming around. It's probably not like that in real life, or maybe at least not like this extreme. I mean, it's not extreme, but just slightly annoying. I just prefer to have more solid front with more downforce. This is the most frustrating part of sim racing, when you're on the corner exit already flat out and you're still not knowing if you're gonna make the corner within the track limit. But overall, I have to say, these cars still feel very, very nice. Dive or not to dive? Well, that curb gave me some nice rotation, unexpectedly. And this turn 1 is designed in a way that it really kills the racing. If you go for the inside, you just need to slow down to pit limit almost. Now I'm gonna be scared braking into this corner for the rest of the race. I wanted to keep third gear to have a bit more neutral balance, but then it locked up because of lack of engine braking. But he's struggling as well. Gonna be 2 more laps to try to make the move. Might have to launch it into the apex. Oh, he carried good speed there. I don't think we touched. I thought he was gonna brake too late there. Mental games. I'm not sure if I actually had overlap through that run into that hairpin. The radar, or like that Heli app, whatever it's called, showed us if there is maybe marginal overlap. Seconds to P1. Don't do that to me. Just about made it. Is he close enough to make a dive bomb? Just about not. I think this corner is flat out with some cars. Although I don't know if I've driven Portimao after the tire update. I think I have. Not sure. Anyway, it's a podium. That's good. Oof, even though it was not really any... I mean, it was quite a nice fight for P3 until his mistake. Through here it was weird because I thought I'm not gonna get overlap, but he still like left space, so I could just have it pinned like on the inside and keep going flat out. Alright, one more race for tonight. I need to quickly register because it's gonna go forward in 3 minutes. And I'll check the replays afterwards. Excuse me. Okay, let's first register. A red Ferrari finally. I wonder if P1 and P2 from Portimao will register as well. It's gonna be quite a race with them. So let's see. I'm gonna lose the R, right? Oh, I gained it. Why? Yesterday I was expected to be P1, and then I was P3 in quali and P2 in the race. I think. Yeah. And I lost the R. But now I was 5th and 3rd. I guess that means that P1 and P2 had relatively more DR. Anyway. Not enough time to warrant joining the practice. Let's see if the frame drops got better. No, they're 2.6. I hope the stream is smooth. Well, with 2.6 frame drops, it should be still kind of smooth. I don't know why is this happening. Wait, can I actually see the rankings of the drivers? Oh yeah. So S2 and S3, I was the only one gold. And then where is so it was event history, must have been this one yesterday. Ah, yeah, GTEs, of course. Well, I just had Juan ahead of me, and he's S3, so that's confusing. But maybe the quali is also very important for DR, which is not what it should be, because like, I mean, it's race that counts, so why make it quali relevant? Or yeah, maybe it's 10% quali, but that's still too much. And this is gonna be my first Ferrari drive on the new tires. And the P1 and P2 from Portimao did in fact not register, so maybe I keep gaining DR even for this race. It would be so good to see the overall standings, like the whole database, to see like where one stands, because like David and Michi and some other guys could still be quite ahead of me. Although Michi kind of lost a lot with that Le Mans race and the incident in the last lap. It's annoying joining the server and then people, like, cars are loading and then everything is freezing. There is FFB. Okay. Oh, I remember now. I wanted to stream this combination on the week when the update of the tires got released. But then the player base went from 500 to 1,800 or something, and suddenly the servers were saying no thank you. And I was not making it into any race. So I did not do this event, I think. Anyway. And this has to be short shifted as well, right? I think the Ferrari, yeah, at least in RF2, had quite an early shift point, which is weird since it's an V8. And V8 normally just revs to the max. Although with the turbos, everything is different. Oh, that handling is quite good. Two key players, yeah, in the first day it was crazy. When you say shift in yellow, you mean yellow from the in-car dash? Yeah, that's the first one. Just like with the Hypercar. Would be good if the session doesn't move until I manage to practice the braking zone into T1. I'm just about gonna make it. Where is it? 150? Ah, later than 150. Okay. Alright. Maybe brake bias a bit to the rear. The track is quite hot. I'm not sure if the same idea about compounds from hypercars works here in the GTEs. This is probably just soft all the way. Ah, the shift point. Ah, remember now. So here I should not shift but leave it in fifth. I remember that from R Factor 2 times. It was better to keep in fifth gear if the straight was short enough. Beautiful balance. Just that moment when I step on the throttle, it's a bit silly from the rear, but I will manage. I need to take the anti-cuts there, otherwise it's gonna be understeery. I do have kind of same issue as with the Porsche. On the late exit, I kind of run out of front grip. So 130, let's say. Oh. That front is quite pointy. Ah, too late. Oi, oi, oi. Why does it lock up there? Anyway, we are going backwards with the BB. Six tenths to Banegas. I should have that. Don't be a cut. Thank you. I guess I should have 10.5 or 2 tenths into Parabolica. I lost a bit in Ascari, hesitated a bit too much on the entry. But let's see. Come on, rotate. Just about. Oh, okay. I mean, it was a huge lockup. But I need to find 3 more tenths. Understeer. No, no. If it would give more time to like give it to lose enough time to make it green again, maybe I could still improve, but it just turns off so quickly that you need to instantly brake, and then you lose the necessary half a tenth or 1 tenth. But after that you lose 2 more tenths because you have braked so much. I lost even that improvement. Anyway, I guess that's a P2. Oof. Okay. Base is there. So eventually I can have a go at P1. That's alright. What was the brake bias? 50.5, and I was still locking up. I'll put 50-50 for the race. What's up with these brake biases? This is not realistic.
Ladies and gentlemen, please start your engines.
Unless it's not actually 50-50, but it's just nominal like that in the car physics files. How many minutes? 25. And then it's gonna be 40. Wait, was that it? Yeah, 47.8. So 108.5, let's say. That's 15 laps to be safe. Times 3. 45. DC and brake bias. Thank you, Colin. Yeah, iRacing is much more broken for sure. What was that? I was going straight, I think. I need to defend the inside here. No chance otherwise. Oof, good start. I think he just turned in onto... Maybe he was drifting slowly to the left, but he was like fully like right into me or something, I don't know. Late into there. He's gonna be harassing me for quite some time now. I just need to get good exits. Or maybe you can hope he just pulled out a crazy good quali lap and his race pace is actually not that great. He's fast. And Banegas in P3 is fast as well. And the temps are hot, so I cannot overload the tires. Well, hyperdrives, yeah, I saw it's a bit of, there is a bit of frame drops in OBS, but nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I really don't know what's the reason. Like in that FSR race, it was consistent 15% frame drops. Today it was like 2%, 1%. And from my side there is no changes at all on any setting. Feels like I'm the slowest in the top 3. It feels good until I just go straight on the exits. That's killing me. Oi, oi, oi. He would have rammed me. Have to look in the mirror more than through the windshield. Well, sufficient defending for now, but it's not gonna get easier probably. Braking too early. Yeah, Colin, I just need to go full in the defending mode. The space, I have not given enough space, but we survived. Well, he's going very physical there. I'm struggling so much with this understeer. Feels like it's gonna be good enough on the exit, but suddenly the front just stops fronting. He's gonna dive, right? I'll lock up. This is terrible. I still P1, but no pace. Into second chicane. I looked into the rearview mirror and it looks like he's gonna outbrake himself and smash into my rear, so I left too much space on the outside. I'm doing something very wrong for Ascari. I thought I had a good line now, but I just lost a tenth. Finally getting away without defending. I think so. That's how to take the anti-cuts. Come on, run away. Good Ascari finally. Even purple S2. That was a good lap. Will be just extremely hard to replicate it for the upcoming 14 minutes. Now that curb on the exit of chicane is a bit awkward with how the first gear is. Right when the power is peaking, rear right is on the biggest curb, so there is always a bit of a snap. Well, it's not the easiest race when one is required to do PB after PB just to keep ahead. Not great. Got nice bit of rotation by the rear wheel spin. But it's weird because for me it's either a little bit of wheel spin and early drift from the rear and then exit is fine, or the rear is good and settled and then the front dies. How was that not a cut? That should have been a cut. Seems like the track limits here are just a lot more lenient than at Portimao. Again, had to hesitate on throttle. Last lap, the first time I stepped the throttle, the rear kicked a little bit and then it was fine. And now it kept it stable. Okay, we have battle for P2. That's my chance to pull away. I suppose P2 and P3 have decided they are not battling me anymore and just want to go for the P2. Also, I think my Parabolica issue was that I was just attacking the apex too much. Because in like high downforce cars you need to kind of turn in and use the front downforce to get to the apex, but with this car you just need to kind of brake more in a straight line and open up the corner a bit more. I was doing the same mistake with the LMP2 some weeks ago. Going for the apex and then losing out on the exit. So let's see the tires. Yeah, like 85 softs. The temperatures are fine as well. Nothing too crazy. The balance is perfect and the lap times are just not dropping. Before the tire update, these tires would have ballooned up so much that we would be now already 2 seconds of pace. Second gear actually worked there. It was a big short shift though. P2, P3 have completely dropped. I wonder why. Well, maybe I just love the track, like it feels... Not sure if it's the fuel. It feels easier to get consistent lap times in now compared to race start. Well, not lap times, but just like corner after corner, it's more predictable. So 3 more laps. Or is it 4? No, 3. Banegas in P2 is actually slowly closing in on me. So I still need to keep the pace up. hyperdrive, that's surely a very easy thing to do, but I mean, it's actually, why not, right? I mean, it would be very low on the list of the priorities, but it would be kind of a interesting selling point. But it would have to only be visible from inside, because, well, when you're in the box, frame rate doesn't really matter. But if others could see you, then during pit stops you would just have crazy frame drops, like it was in F1 Challenge 20 years ago, when there was pit crew animations. And suddenly the frames dropped massively. Well, I just hope that at some point they improve the graphics of this thing, or like if you do this, that maybe it cleans the weird pixelated stuff. Because it's not so annoying having a bit of dirty windscreen, but it's super annoying have a dirty windscreen if the dirt is pixelated, low resolution. Well, I mean, ideally you would have like crowd cheering, standing up, standing down, vehicles driving like on the service roads, all the good stuff like that. But I suppose for now the physics is still too demanding on the CPU. Last lap. I'm looking forward to some sleeping. But I did promise, and I did want to check the replays of the two races before, because I was running out of time before, so just gonna do that quickly. It's a shame that in that chicane one is still forced to use the anti-cuts to be fast. They need to model the damage to the tires and to the suspension and bodywork. P1. Oh, that guy did not want to do the extra laps, I suppose. Alright. Well, that was good fun. I hope the stutters on the stream were not too bad. Hard jednej kopy. GR. Oh, donuts. Yeah, it's hard to do donuts, especially at Monza, because you need a long time to stop. And there is only 20 seconds, and then you need to turn off TC and greet the P2 guy, and then suddenly it automatically escapes you. So replace. Wait, what did I want to check? Race 1 was pretty crazy. Race 2 was, I already checked the dive into LMP2s into turn 1. Race 3, did anything happen in race 3? No, not really, right? Just the mistakes. Ah, that fight. Yeah, I need to check that. Alright, +2, +2.7, alright. Before I close things down, where are the replays? Replays. 40-mile race. Well, donuts are nice. I think. Wait, why am I not doing them? Like in the past, we just did them for no reason sometimes. During practice sessions as well, but I think like on the hypercars, I always forget which button is the actual TC, like to deactivate it, and then I just don't bother trying to figure out what to put to 0. I'm gonna need some that what's called throat pill, painkiller for the throat. Luckily it did not go down to the vocal cords, but it stayed kind of towards the nose. It still hurts. Anyway, what was the lap? Here, I'm not experienced enough at Portimao. Like, maybe I should have gone to the inside because there was space. But the corner is so sharp that, like, if you're on the apex going from here and need to turn, like, I don't know, like now we are doing 130. He's doing 130. But let's say one lap before. 142, yeah, 12 kph difference, and we were not really side by side. It's just better to wait behind and try to get the guy back. I thought I'm gonna get a good run through here, but I did not carry enough speed, and he nailed it. I could have dived for the apex here as well. And then I thought I'm gonna get the switchback, but I was so far ahead that I would have to back out completely and then it would be move over. He had every right to turn in. Just checking if he got hit, but no, there was no netcode or anything. So good to have a sim where you can have close racing like this without any fear of netcode crashes. In iRacing he would get a loft tap on the rear and then he would go straight into the barrier. Was there an overlap? I mean, it was, right? But that's the worst feeling when you know you have the edge, the advantage, but you're on the outside, so then you need to find a braking point into such a difficult braking zone. And then the car just did not stop. That was a nice one. And then I don't think there is anything to check at Monza because I was just defending the inside into any corner or every corner. But I will quickly check this overtake. Hello? To be honest, I had 0 game crashes today. Is this the first one? No, wow. Good game. Very good game. 4 races, 0 crashes. I mean, 0 game crashes. And now the frame drops in OBS show to be 3.3%. I don't know why this is going on. Maybe it's just like a YouTube problem. Because when I was streaming FSR a month ago or something, supposedly YouTube generally had issues that evening. But YouTube says stream health is excellent. I don't know. Okay. Wait, maybe I can check the first move already. Omar and what was the other guy? Marcus. Here already had him. No, okay. Sounds like YouTube is putting out misinformation. Oh dear. Well, I will put clips then from the replays. But is it... I mean, I'm gonna check later, but is it like... what's it doing? Okay. Is it stuttering like the whole stream or just the in-game footage? Because... or like just the picture or picture and audio? Because for that FSR race, audio was clear, but the picture was freezing. Yeah, it's again that thing, like audio good, picture bad. I don't know. So let's see what has he done wrong. Oh! Alright. Yeah, he did the correct thing. He had to stay flat out. It was funny at Spa. Like, at the actual Spa. Like, I was watching this corner from that garage there. Like, first floor, this one or this one. Somewhere there. And like cars were coming into this corner, and as they loaded the left rear, for many cars it was always like a puff of smoke coming from the car. Not sure exactly why, if it's maybe rubbing the chassis or like the bodywork, or maybe if actually there is so much load on the tire that it just smokes a little bit. But it was feeling like as if the cars are on the verge of losing the rear, but that's exactly what happened to Marcus here. He threw it into the apex. I cannot move the camera position. Here he turned a lot, and then a bit of aerostall. Stutters only every once in a while. Exactly how it was in FSR, just it was much more crazy. No, that's a good catch. But it's kind of a viable overtaking strategy, right? Just try to get ahead out of turn 1, even though the car behind should have easy chance. Because he's so close behind, you stay ahead. That was that move. And then for the lead, looking at the wrong car. He did a mistake here, right? Not really. It was just Porsche issues. And then it was a nice dive. And then the bonk that I already showed in the stream. Okay, and then here, this I didn't show yet. This is so close and so difficult to judge. I thought of going for the inside, but then, of course, he's gonna defend the inside when he can do it. So I go to left. This one, I don't know. I thought I'm gonna have nice overspeed on the exit, but he had a snap and I had a snap a little bit as well. And then I had to bail out. And then maybe he made my life easier by missing the apex. Because I had clean air. If he was there, I would be blind and have dirty air. It's weird. Why did he do that? Looks like under control. Maybe he looked at the mirror here and then realized he's missed the apex a bit. And the Ferrari top speed is not bad anyway. Nice rubbing. And then the Ferrari brakes working into my favor, so I could actually turn in. And he went into the gravel. Could he have a chance if he didn't go into the gravel? I think he would have to lift more not to get there, and then he would not be alongside anymore. Nice racing. That's gonna be it for today though, so as we close the replays, let me thank you for the watching. Sorry for the stutters. I don't know what I should do. I would love to promise something, but I have no idea why the stutters happen. Maybe I should pay for the YouTube premium something, I don't know. Anyway, I hope I can do VC weekly on some... is it on Friday? On tomorrow I don't stream, but on Friday I might do this. Should be a fun race. So maybe I can meet some of you guys on track then. Till then, thank you for watching and for the likes and so on. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice rest of the day, of the evening, and good night. Bye. Bye. Where is the scene? Here it is.